Try something right now. Put your phone down. Don't check anything. Don't put on music. Don't open a new tab. Just sit. Do absolutely nothing for 60 seconds. How long did it last? 10 seconds? 20? Did your hand reach for your phone before you even realized it was moving? You're not lazy. You're not weak. But something has quietly changed in the way your brain processes doing nothing, and the shift happened so gradually, you never noticed it leaving. If you've ever sat in a waiting room and felt genuine distress at having nothing to do, you're not alone. In 2014, psychologist Timothy Wilson ran a series of experiments at the University of Virginia. He put people in a plain room with nothing but their thoughts for 15 minutes. No phone, no book, no music, just themselves. The results were extraordinary. Most people hated it. Many rated the experience as deeply unpleasant. And in one of the most startling findings in modern psychology, a significant number of participants chose to give themselves mild electric shocks rather than sit alone with their thoughts. They preferred physical pain over mental stillness. Let that sink in for a moment. Here's what most people get wrong about boredom. They think it's the absence of stimulation. But neuroscientists now know that boredom is actually an active state, your brain producing a specific signal that says, "This situation isn't giving me what I need to grow." Psychologist Sandy Mann at the University of Central Lancashire spent years studying boredom and found something counterintuitive. Boredom is one of the most creatively productive states the human mind can enter. When your brain is bored truly, deeply bored with no escape, it activates the default mode network. The same network that generates daydreaming, creative insight, problem solving, and your sense of self. Boredom isn't emptiness. It's your brain clearing its cache. It's the mental equivalent of a field lying fallow before the next harvest. And we've been paving over that field with an endless stream of notifications. For most of human history, boredom was unavoidable. You waited for food. You watched the fire. You sat with your thoughts whether you wanted to or not. And in those gaps, those long, uncomfortable silences, the human mind did some of its best work. Stories were invented. Songs were composed. Problems that had no immediate solution were turned over and over until something clicked. Then, in 2007, something changed. The smartphone arrived, and with it, the complete elimination of idle time. Every gap, every waiting moment, every quiet second became fillable. And our brains, which are wired to seek stimulation and avoid discomfort, grabbed that option immediately and never looked back. The average person now checks their phone 6 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. We have essentially told our brains, "You never have to be bored again." And our brains believed us. Here's the neuroscience behind why this is so hard to resist. Every time you check your phone and find something new, a notification, a like, a message, your brain releases a small burst of dopamine. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical, as it's often called. It's actually the anticipation chemical. It's released not when you get the reward, but when you expect one might be coming. This is the same mechanism that makes slot machines so addictive. You don't know if this pull will pay off. That uncertainty is exactly what makes it irresistible. Your phone is essentially a slot machine you carry in your pocket, pulling the lever every 10 minutes. And just like a slot machine, the more you play, the harder it becomes to stop, and the less satisfying each pull feels. The good news? This isn't permanent. The brain is remarkably plastic. It rewires in both directions. The same way it learned to crave constant stimulation, it can relearn to sit with stillness. But it takes deliberate practice, not willpower. Here's what the research actually suggests. First, start with 2 minutes, not 20. Psychologist B.J. Fogg at Stanford calls this tiny habits, the idea that the smallest consistent action creates more lasting change than large occasional efforts. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Put your phone in another room, sit, do nothing. That's it. Not 10 minutes, not an hour, 2 minutes, every day. Second, reframe boredom as input, not absence. When you feel bored, Instead of reaching for your phone, ask, what is my brain trying to tell me right now? Boredom is data. It's your mind signaling that something in your life needs more attention, more creativity, or more rest. Third, create at least one daily phone-free gap. Not a long one, just one. The walk to the kitchen, the first 5 minutes after waking, the time between turning off the light and falling asleep. One gap, every day, no exceptions. The ability to sit still isn't a personality trait you either have or don't have. It's a skill, and like every skill, it atrophies when you stop using it and rebuilds when you start again. The most interesting thoughts you will ever have are waiting in the gaps in the silence between the notifications, in the moments you used to fill with scrolling. You don't need to delete your apps. You don't need to throw your phone into the sea. You just need to leave a little space and let your mind remember what it feels like to simply be.